Hi, everybody, and welcome to the first video in our CSA video series, Reminders and Recommendations for UTeach CSA, Unit 1 and 2. That's what we're going to focus on tonight's quick video. If you would like to get a copy of the slide deck I'm going to use, please go to this bit.ly. It's bit.ly/UTeach CSA video number 1. I will explain to you at the end of this video how to get all of our CSA videos. They're on our YouTube channel. I'll explain to you how to subscribe. There's always a lot of new Codio features being added, updates to the curriculum and the College Board exam. We want to stay in touch with you. We want to make sure that we provide you all the support you need to make sure this goes fluid in your class. So with all that being said, let's get started. So we are going to start here with a little reminder, okay? If you are new to Codio, if you're new to CSA, if you're new to teaching an AP course, okay, Unit 0 Getting Started assignment is mostly for you, the teacher, okay? It's important that you know what you need to do to teach the course before you even teach the course. And I know some of you have already started teaching the course. You might already be into Unit 2, but it doesn't mean that you might have done everything you needed to do. You need to do the AP course audit. You need to join the AP classroom. You need to set your kids up in AP in classes so that way they can get access to different things, okay? Also, Codio has a lot of features that you might not even know about, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about in this video, are those Codio features. Okay, so Unit 0 Getting Started. Okay, that Unit 0 has all the things you need. Now take a look. This is what it includes for the teacher. So this is teacher view. For the student, there's not much there, okay? A couple of student videos explaining how the interface works in Codio, which they're perceptive. They're going to figure it out on their own anyway. And then an Everyone Belongs in CS activity. It's a great activity in order to make students feel like they belong in CS from all different ethnic backgrounds and genders. So that's what the students see, but look at what the teacher sees, okay? In the teacher view, you have videos about navigating Codio, okay? And I'm going to show you where to find those on our YouTube channel at the end of this slide deck, right? It goes over a lot of different things, how to integrate your LMS into Codio. We have resources, okay? The CSA syllabus, all these different things. So just don't forget about Unit 0 Getting Started. It's actually more for the teacher than it is for the student. Okay, so now let's talk about Codio. So Codio, most of you have already started using it. You might be used to it, but you might not know a lot of the features that you could be using. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Codio is constantly adding different things for us to use. So what we're going to do is, over the next little bit, I'm going to explain how to check your announcements, because constantly UTeach is reaching out to you to provide you with information. Remind you to pull those course updates. Most of you already unlocked your edit access, but I'll remind you about that. I'm going to show you the group work feature so you can do pair programming. We're going to also talk about the Codio video chat feature. It's got video chat built into it. So if your students are working in the group work feature, they can actually video, just like we're doing now with each other, and watch the assignment being done in real time. Brand new to recently added, I should say, adding prerequisites to assignments. No longer can you just use enable and disable to assign assignments to your students. You can now have prerequisites. So in order to do 1.5, assignment 1.5, they got to do 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, unless it won't allow them to do 1.5. So we're going to talk about that, a little bit about how to grade, and then of course, LMS integration. All of this is stuff that I've covered in previous videos. I'm just going to touch on it now. Okay, so the first thing I would like to discuss is announcements. Codio allows UTeach to send announcements to their teachers, okay? And when we send an announcement, you will see it at the top of your CSA course, at the top of the screen. Now, the problem is that a lot of you are already in Unit 2, and Codio dashboard works so well when you go back and forth, it takes you to where you left off. So every once in a while, just make sure you go to the top of the screen and check to see if you can see a green box. Now up here, you're gonna find two different green boxes, one for show announcements and one for show changes. Those are two different things. Announcements are exactly what it sounds like, announcements coming from the UTeach team to tell you something. Changes is we made a change to an assignment. We want you to pull that change so you can assign the most current version of the assignment to your students. So to see an announcement, it's very easy. You just have to click on the show announcement box. And then here you could see it was an announcement reminding you about the webinar this coming Sunday, which is what you're at. All right. Now, if I want to, I can actually click up here and view all the announcements that we've sent so far. Okay. We sent an announcement making sure to tell your IT department that they need to make sure to whitelist or allow Codio.com and GitHub.com. And you got to make sure those cookies are enabled on your browser to make sure everything works correctly. I already sent you an announcement about Unit 0 getting started. Crucial information there to read, and then the webinar. So that is how you will view our announcements. And then you click OK, and the show announcements disappears. Okay, now, there is not any pull announcements at the top of the screen, but sometimes teachers worry, what if I do have to make any pull, to the course? Well, you can just click on the Edit tab. And if you see the word pull right over here at the top of a unit, it means you need to pull some sort of change. So as I scroll down through the course, I notice I don't have anything that I need to pull any changes to any assignments. So that's announcements, and you have to make sure to be aware of them and check them out so that you're always up to date with what's going on in the course. All right, so now that we're in this, let's take a look at some of the other features. Now, if you want edit access, all you have to do is click on the Edit tab. The password is edit UTeach, one word, no spaces, everything lowercase except the U and the T. So edit, capital U, capital T, each. All right, all lowercase except the U and the T. All right, but that's how you get edit access. And I know a lot of teachers want to create their own assignments. So what UTeach recommends is that teachers don't create their own assignments in CSA from scratch. What we recommend you do is once you have edit access is to duplicate the assignments that we already have, because we already have these assignments laid out in our 3-panel layout, where the playground is in the top right corner, the terminal window is in the bottom right corner, and on the left side of the screen is the student text. So that's why we always say if you want to use one of our assignments, like let's say 2.7, you just have to come over here and click on duplicate, okay? And this is going to be the edited version of 2.7. All right, and that's how we want you to make up assignments, because now all I have to do is open this assignment, click on the pencil tab, and then I can edit this actual assignment. I don't have to worry about bringing in stacks and doing all these different things. All right, so you'll see right over here, as soon as this assignment opens up, okay, the 3-panel layout is already there. All I have to do is click on the left side of the screen, and now I can start editing my text and doing edits. Now, to make it easier, I always recommend that you go to split view right over here, because then you can actually see the markup language on the left, okay, and then what's happening on the right. Now, I'm not going to do a deep dive into edit because there's a video on the YouTube channel that shows you how to do this already. So if you'd like to learn how to edit assignments that you've duplicated, please watch the video on our YouTube channel. Okay, now let's hop back to our CSA course, because we already showed you the announcements and changes. I just showed you a little bit of the edit access, how to duplicate our assignments. Now, there's a lot that you can do in the Teacher tab under Settings. So what I would like to do right now is show you, and let's use Unit 2 for an example. And we're going to actually take the Unit 2.1 project, and we're going to take that Resource Finder project, and we're going to turn it into a group work assignment. Now, in Codio, you are able to take any assignment you want and make it into a group work pair programming assignment. And all that means is that you can turn on an assignment, make it a group project, assign the number of students you want in that group. One of the students will be the driver. That's the one who controls what all the other students are seeing, and that's the one who's doing all the work at that time. All the other members in the group are navigators. So if it's true pair programming, you have one driver, one navigator. But for a resource finder project, let's say I want them to work in groups of 4. I'm going to make this resource finder project a 4-person project, meaning 1 person will be the driver at a time and 3 will be the navigators. And they can swap roles. Now, the other nice feature about group work is there's a built-in video chat feature, which I'll talk about at the end, which allows the students to collaborate using video or audio or just plain text chat. So what you want to do is wherever the assignment, this one is 2.1, we want to click on the settings icon on the right-hand side of the screen. Now this opens up the project settings. And notice right now we just have progress and settings. Now, if I scroll down over here, notice I can then add group work to the assignment. So this is where you're going to add it right over here. When I turn on pair programming, it asks me, do I want to make this shared focus and how many students do I want in each group? So I'm going to switch it to 4 students. And then over here, shared focus means that the navigators are going to see exactly what the driver sees, and they're not going to be able to alter their screen. So that might be something you want to turn on. So that way, if the kids are in different locations, you know, we have to socially distance. Maybe they're all in the same classroom, but on different computers. This will make it so whatever the driver is doing, all the other navigators will see. And now all you have to do from this point is click Save Changes, and it'll then automatically take all the kids in your class and put them into groups. You'll notice right over here, it has made this into a group work assignment. And all I would do is click on groups and this arrange groups button over here. And you can see that it took all the students in my class, unfortunately, I only have 3, and it put them into a group. Now, I know what you're saying. Codio doesn't know which students should work together and which shouldn't work together. Well, that's okay. You can always take students out of a group and just drag them here on the right side of the screen and then put another student in. All right, so that is how the group work feature can be added to any assignment in Codio. Now, what is the benefit of this? Well, number one, the benefit is that you, the teacher, will only have to grade one of these assignments, and then that grade goes to all the students in that group. Okay, so that's one of the really nice features. Students will be able to collaborate, whether they're there in person or whether they're remote. So this is the group work feature, and it's really great feature that Codio has. Okay, now, how would it work as far as, how does video chat work? So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go in as one of my test students, okay? And we're gonna look at the video chat feature that they have. So let's just go to assignment 2.7 scanner class, okay? All these students are actually in a group together. All right, and you'll notice that here is our assignment. So I'm here in student view to show you what video chat looks like for your students. Now, this is a feature that they can use when they're collaborating on projects, but it's also very valuable to you, the teacher, because you can actually open up a student's assignment and then video chat with them about their assignment. All right, it's for students if they're collaborating in group work, but for you, the teacher, all you have to do is open up student A's 2.7 assignment, and then you can video chat with student A from your computer about what they need to do differently. So how to activate video chat, it is very easy. All you have to do is up here in the top right corner, okay, you'll see there's a call button. And when you click on that button, it's gonna ask you for access to your microphone and your video, okay? And then that's what's gonna pop up here, okay? That's where my face is gonna pop up. If all you have to do is come down here to activate your video. Hey, look, there I am. I'm in 2 spaces. Okay. And then to make my sound work, I would just click here. Now that I am ready to use my video chat feature, I would then just click on this. Okay. And now any other student that also activates their video chat will appear here on the right-hand side of the screen. Now, my driver will be the person who's doing everything, but if somebody wants to take over the role of driver, they'll be able to. All right, so this is the video chat feature. It is great for the students to do collaborative work, but it's also great for you, the teacher, because you can open up any student assignment and then tell them to log in, and you can both video chat and you can give them feedback, even if you're remote. Okay, so this is our video chat feature. So let me shut this off so that our entire video here doesn't die. All right. You notice how easy it is to use this. I then just click on the X and now it's all gone. All right, so let me actually go back to our dashboard and continue along with just a couple of other features. Okay, like I said, Codio is always constantly taking feedback and making our platform even more intuitive. So what I would like to show you is adding prerequisites to assignments. Okay, so let's say we're doing assignment 2.5. All right, so I'm going to show you right now how to add prerequisites to assignment 2.5. And here's how you do it. Now we're going to go into the settings over here in the icon again for 2.5. And you'll notice under the assignment, now at the bottom, it says prerequisites. So when I hit the on button here, it now is going to allow me to add prerequisites for what I want the students to do before they can do this assignment. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to say, you know what? It would just make sense that before they can do 2.5, I want them to complete 2.4, 2.3, and 2.2. Obviously, I don't want them to complete 2.1 because it's a whole entire unit project. So now that I have that done, I can scroll down to the bottom of the screen, click select, and now look what appears over here. I have added the prerequisite that before my students can do 2.5, regardless if it's enabled or disabled, they have to do 2.2, 2.3, and 2.4. Now, I just said they have to do. Well, no, it's up to you. Here's the prerequisite parameter assignment state. So it can either be that they just have to start 2.2, 2.3, and 2.4 in order to access 2.5. They need to complete those previous prerequisites, or they need to pass them. So in my class, what I would say is let's make sure they complete them, right? So that way they can keep moving on, regardless of if I've graded it or not, or if they have passed or failed it. At least they can keep going on. If all it is started, well, then I don't know if they actually did the assignment. I just know they clicked on it and started it. Now, after I set up my prerequisites the way I want, all I have to do is click Save Changes, okay? So now that's how you add prerequisites to your assignments. So now you can make your class a little more self-paced and you can have a little more control without having to constantly just use the enable, disable feature or due dates, right? Due dates aren't for all kids. Some kids work slower, some want to work faster. So instead of using due dates, use prerequisites. Okay, so those were a lot of the things that I wanted to talk about. One of the things I just want to remind you about your platform is that you have the ability to integrate your LMS into Codio. So now, obviously, we have two really big features: how to connect Google Classroom and connect to Microsoft Teams. So this is an updated announcement I'm going to give you about all the new LMS integration. Now, originally, we were able to integrate Schoology, okay, Canvas, Blackboard, and of course, Google Classroom to Codio. Well, now I also want to announce that you can also connect your Microsoft Teams to your Codio account. All right, a lot of schools have started using Microsoft Teams, not only as a grade book, but a way of keeping in touch with their students and their parents, the students' parents. So now we have added a connect to MS Teams to your Codio account in case any of your schools out there are using Teams as an LMS. Okay, you can also print PDFs of your course from over here. If you forgot about that, all you have to do is check off whatever you want to print, like all of Unit 1, and then click as either a single PDF or as a per assignment thing, and Codio will email you that PDF when it's ready. Okay, so that's my Codio reminders. All right, I just wanted to remind you about all these things. Now, grading in Codio, I'm not going to go into it because we have a lot of videos that go through grading in Codio. For CSA, there's a lot of Java assignments, and most of them are auto-graded. But if you ever have a question about something not grading correctly, just reach out to our support, which I will discuss at the end of this video. All right, now the next thing I want to remind you is that this CSA on Codio curriculum is very easy to do synchronously and asynchronously. You can make this hybrid. All right, what we recommend that you do is use your asynchronous time for the students to actually do the assignments, unless it's a unit project, okay? That can be the time when they're actually reading and going through these assignments. Now, your synchronous time can be used for group collaborations, for debugging work with debugging buddies, okay? For time to work on the unit projects. Some of you don't have your students every single day. Some of you have them once a week for an extended amount of time. So this is just a way of thinking about it. We give you pacing guides that are based on 50-minute in-class learning periods. But I want you to remember there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, okay? And one way of doing this is making sure that the kids work through the assignments asynchronous. I just showed you how to add prerequisites. Let them move at their own pace, and then use that synchronous time to either have the students who are moving through it quicker help out the students who are moving slower, all right, or use your time more valuably in the classroom when you got them together. So that's just a little thing to remind you about, but always do our units in order. This entire course is scaffolded. We want you to do Unit 1 before you do Unit 2 and Unit 3 and so forth and so forth. And the reason is because what we're about to talk about next. All right. Our curriculum. Now, we're not going to go through the whole curriculum here. I'm just going to talk about the beginning of it because there's a couple of things I just want to highlight. Okay, and that is Python with Turtle. Why are we doing that in Unit 1? Why not Java? Okay, well, the whole point is that your students, a lot of them are coming in with varying degrees of programming skills. Some zilch. Some already know how to program really well in Python. Some just block-based, maybe Scratch. Okay, so we like to use Python with Turtle because it's not Python, it's Python with a graphical interface. It shows them how to do shapes, but we're really just trying to get them to do modular programming, okay? And that's what we're doing here in assignment 1.7, okay? In assignment 1.7, we're just trying to do modular programming. So unit 1 for CSA moves really quickly, right? Your students are learning a little bit about an algorithm. Next thing you know, they're making up a emoji. Now it's becoming an avatar, all right? And then it's all done so that they can learn how to write modules, right? They make a module for each piece of the emoji, the eyes, the mouth, the nose, and then the same thing when they're doing the avatar. So like, that's why unit 1 is important to start with. We don't want you to skip it and go right into unit 2. It's not long, okay? You can take a couple weeks, get your kids adjusted and used to Codio by doing Codio unit 1. Now, unit 2, we get right in to Java. Now, unit 2 is laid out, but if I have to highlight one thing about unit 2, it's gonna be that unit 2 Boolean expressions, okay? Now, the story behind the unit 2.11 Boolean expressions was we originally made this assignment up, and I'm gonna go to student view actually, using Pokemon characters, okay? And if you know anything about Nintendo, Nintendo wasn't happy that we were using Pokemon. So Nintendo decided to reach out to us and basically threatened to sue us. So instead, UTeach could not be stopped. We have developed our own characters called Pokemon. All right, and you can see our Pokemon characters right over here. All right, and the reason we love our Pokemon characters is because they are just like those Nintendo characters that I won't mention anymore. But yes, they each have attributes built onto the card. And that's what we're going to use to get the students to learn about Boolean expressions. All right. We have all these different types of Pokemon cards. We have assignments built into it where they'll have to compare cards. So this is a fun assignment. It's also 100 minutes long. It also can be done, a student individually, or it can be done in pairs. So this is just a good lesson to highlight because we put a lot of work into it. You can even come back to these cards and use them in other times for other assignments, okay? Because we're constantly pulling up all the different characters we have, like the Wurstel, okay? Clamor and the Whirlster. All right, so these are just all of our fun characters. And listen, we're trying to make this fun for the students. All right, so this is really a lesson I wanted to highlight there in Unit 2 was 2.11. And just real quickly, that's a 100-minute assignment, 2 50-minute class periods. But real quickly for Unit 3 is going to be all about strings and loops, okay? And what I wanted to point out was lessons 3, 4, 3, 5, and 3, 6, okay? Those are the assignments that are going to be dealing with loops, okay? You can see here, we're going to start with our for loops. But I just want you guys to realize that that's why it's so important to scaffold this, okay? We're going to go from those modular programming steps in Unit 1 to doing our Boolean expressions in Unit 2. And then Unit 3, we're moving on to strings and iterations. So we're doing our strings. We're learning about loops. So this is how the course is going to begin for you, and this is how you're going to progress. All right. So now, just to remind you, we have so much support available for you, okay? Now, I know CSA teachers, you guys all know how to program, a lot of you, and you have your little worlds and your setup and you like to do your thing. CSA teachers have been teaching this course for a long time. But if you have any questions about Codio, about things you would like to see in Codio, things about the CSA course, maybe how we do things, maybe you want us to explain something to you better, maybe you have a question about doing things in Java, reach out to us. You can always email us by clicking on this Get Support tab on the left side of your Codio dashboard. You could schedule a one-on-one call with either myself or Leslie, our curriculum designer, okay? We want you to join our CSA learning community on Facebook. It's not all CSA teachers, it's just CSA teachers who are using the UTeach Codio curriculum. So if you have any questions, you can put it on our Facebook page and people will get back very quickly, if not one of us, member of the team, another teacher. And now Codio has their help center, and that's important. That's this Codio FAQ. Want to learn how to integrate MS Teams? Then click on the FAQ button. And then I'm going to have webinars and videos all year long. Please, you can just access them easily by clicking on that webinar or video link on the left side of your screen, and it'll take you to our YouTube channel. So now just some news and updates. If your school is going to allow you to do micro-credentials and give you credits for that, we have CS micro-credentials from UTeach that are free, okay? We have about 7 or 8 different micro-credentials: rubber duck debugging, code tracing, pair programming, unplugged activities. All of those you're going to be doing in our course. You want to take 30 minutes, fill out a micro-credential, and get a certificate, cost you no money. Please subscribe to our monthly newsletter. Check out our recruitment resources. Never too early to start thinking about maybe adding CSP to your class load. All right. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right. If you tap the notification bell, you'll get updates whenever we release a new UTeach CS video. I'm going to do a little bit of a demo showing you how to integrate Microsoft Teams with your Codio account. So stay tuned and be on the lookout for that. All right, and that brings us to the end of our 30-minute video. If you got on late and you want to get the slide that I was using, please go to that bit.ly link /UTeach CSA video 1, or you can get in touch with us by clicking on any of those other links on the right-hand side of your screen. So I want to thank everyone for attending this webinar. I want to thank everyone for watching our first video in our CSA video series. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Thank you and have a good night.